Hey there, so today we have another review. This is a beer from Cigar City. This is Maybe I Dreamt It, with a pretty kind of fun abstract-ish kind of label on there. This is a Agricole rum barrel-aged barley wine stout. Well, really the product's called Rhum Agricole. I think that's how French works. Spanish works that way. It's the noun, then the descriptor. It's not like red car is car red. So Rhum Agricole, it's rum that is made with sugarcane juice. Traditionally, regular rum is made with the byproduct of sugar production. Sugarcane juice makes sugar, but also makes molasses. So you use molasses like, hey, we've got all this extra molasses, we make rum. Rhum Agricole, similar to cachaça, is made with just sugarcane juice, the actual plant. And so this is based out of like mostly French Caribbean islands. So what is it, like Martinique specifically? They have an AOC, sort of like how wine, champagne is champagne from France, right? Prosecco is Prosecco from Italy, right? Anyway, there's AOC, Rhum Agricole, from specifically Martinique, right? So we got Rhum Agricole, different processes, French-based, well, not France-based, but like French Caribbean-based. And then also, so what happens with that is that you'll get some of the vegetal, like kind of grassy notes, because you're using actual sugarcane juice. And then also, I guess from like this distillation process, you get like a ton of esters too. So you can get like banana and tropical fruits. I'm curious what that means here with a barrel-aged barley wine. Haven't had this one before. Don't have the ABV. It's actually not even posted on the bottle. But I did the research on the Rhum Agricole. Then you look up this beer. But let's dig into the beer. Beer is like murky, muddy, right? In light. Comes in a like medium brown color. Yeah. Light to medium brown color. You certainly see this kind of like muddy brown color on the edges of the glass when you like check the edges. Not too much head to be spoken of, but as you swirl it, you get a little. Let me see it again. Sorry, this like I haven't tried it yet. I had to reshoot. Haven't actually tried it. So yeah, you get a little bit of like this kind of almost like stout, like kind of like medium brown head. So pretty nice looking, but not much of it. Oh man, it smells sweet. I mean, that smells like one of my favorite beers of all time is Bourbon County Barleywine. Goose Island Bourbon County Barleywine. They don't really make that anymore, I don't think, but that's like what I get. Like, there's a nice hint of chocolate, so there's barrel-aged barley wine, and then Bourbon County bumps it up a little further, right? Especially when they use the Bourbon County stout barrels. There's just a hint of like chocolate roast in here. There's like leather, tobacco. Underneath all those like really beautiful, sweet, fruity notes that you get from barrel-aged barley wine. So you're going like, raisins, stewed plums, stewed apples, fruit leather, maybe a little bit of cola. I don't know, maybe not the citrus of cola, but the caramel character of a cola, right? Yeah, certainly a little bit of cola in there, like almost like almond? I'm trying to think of what cola. Maybe almond, some combination. Maybe like a light hint of like a little bit of the almondy character that you get from Dr. Pepper, a little bit just the regular cola, the caramel, not quite the lime part. But yeah, but it's like got this really nice kind of light chocolatey tone to it too, like light cocoa flavor, along with like, yeah, leathery and tobacco-y kind of like depth. It smells awesome. Cheers. That was great temperature. Barely chilled or lightly chilled. Oh, whoa. That's not what I expected. So one thing about Rhum Agricole is that it's not very sweet, despite being barrel aged and all that stuff. Rum you can back sweeten and back color, so like they can lie to you like what it looks like, because like obviously a darker things looks like it's been aged more, but they just like color it whatever they want. Rhum Agricole, yeah, I guess doesn't allow for that, so it's actually not back sweetened. So it actually is pretty low residual sweetness. Interesting. I would never guess the beer would taste like this. This beer honestly tastes like quite oxidized. Like, not necessarily in a bad way. Like big beers like this can't be oxidized, but it tastes very oxidized. Like, up front, I get some of that sweetness, a little that Bourbon County kind of thing, right? It's like just a hair of cocoa and roast, and then it's like dark fruit, but then it tastes so old. Like, it's dry. It doesn't have that much residual. Well, the beer has a nice fatness to it, right? It's not a classic beer where it's like, oh, this is a thinner beer. There's certainly some residual sweetness, but it's like dryness. It's like almost like ashy on the back end. There's like a lot of umami. Like I guess this umami thing that like tastes aged. Like it's got a lot of like mushroomy umami thing going on the back end. Almost like also like bitterness too. There's like a dried roots. So it's like the bitterness has fallen apart and like sort of like turned into something else. The umami's dominated. Wow. If you gave me this to me blind, I would have like, wow, what beer just aged like 5-10 years? Like, has a lot of like depth of age character. What it could be is maybe the earthy and grassy flavors of the Rhum Agricole like coming through, and that's what I'm perceiving as like age. But this is not your traditional bourbon barley wine, right? Like I smelled it, came into it like, wow, this is gonna be dark fruit, sweet, decadent, a lot of barrel character. No, it's like you get some barrel character. I want to say it all bumps up to this kind of booziness and like it's kind of like depth of alcohol. So it's not only the ethanol from the barley wine, but like the alcohol from the barrel. So it gets like, rounded sweetness. Alcohol offers like sweetness too. So you get this rounded sweetness and the extra mouthfeel too. Alcohol is also mouthfeel. Alcohol is both mouthfeel and sweetness. It's sort of like fat with food. Fat is so important to a lot of the foods that we eat, and the experience of that is the fat. Fat is juicy and fat is unctuous and does all these other things. Alcohol does that to beer. Alcohol does many things, yeah. So here, yeah, it has this complexity to it because, again, alcohol, specifically from the barrel, I'd argue, and the flavors that the barrel offers. Definitely a sipper, definitely a sharer. Yeah, it honestly tastes more in the range of like what people would call it old ale or something like that, where it's like, it just tastes old to me. And it doesn't have, like, if you sell barley wine, like I think these days, especially in 2022, they're expecting something on the sweeter side. This is like tastes a little bit, again, like even like when I was into beer, like, 2014, 2015, or, doing bottle shares, 2014, 2015, this tasted even older then. Like a beer like this would have been like a super aged version of some older barley wine. What a nice callback, because, Cigar City is that old. And I actually had a really tasty, amazing barley wine there on draft. That is what I would consider what people expect barley wine to be. But, wow, okay. So, what are the final comments? The beer is not that sweet. Nice, rich, boozy alcohol. Nice fruit flavors. Nice depth of malt in here. It's got like, nice kind of like toasted, kind of like it's got almost like a light, like, how do you describe that? Well, for sure, there's like a lingering kind of light smokiness, not actual smoke in here, but it's like a tobacco leathery kind of thing, like aged in like, yeah, leather is a good descriptor. It tastes old and musty. Anyway, moving on from that, the malt is like sweet, lightly cocoa-y. It has a nice kind of desserty tone to it. I mean, there is tons of residual sweetness. Like I'm talking right now, my tongue's like covered with sugar. So there's that, but it doesn't come off as sweet as it probably is. Yeah, so sweet fruits, dates. You get this kind of like you go Christmas, kind of like Christmas, a fruitcake kind of thing going here. White grape, yeah, like sweet kind of white grapes, regular white raisins, regular raisins, dates. Maybe not as sweet as Fig Newton. Leathery, light cocoa flavor, lingering echoes of depth, which are quite nice. For me, this beer gets a solid 90. I like that it's different, but not, yeah, I like that it's different. Let's go with a solid 92. That is, maybe I dreamt it. What a sipper. What a fun, complex one. Some beers I'm like, oh man, like I'm in trouble. This is a 500 ml big beer that I have no problem finishing. This is one of those where like I would rather share it with like 4 or 5 people. Until next time, guys, cheers. Later.